My lovers, welcome to my channel. My name is Made for Love, and today we are doing a karmic or third party energy update. So this is going to be the relationship that's not you and your person. So if it's your person that has someone else, it's going to be that relationship. Okay, now we are not allowed to spy in tarot. Okay, even though people might have these reading, let's spy. No, we're not allowed to spy in tarot. What we will get is messages that are for our highest good, that will empower us to make proper, well-informed in choices about our life. So whatever comes through is because it's only because spirit wants us to have it. There's nothing that we can extract. There's nothing that someone can spy on. Spirit is always the gatekeeper. Okay. And the second thing is, when we watch these readings, remember this relationship is mirroring back an unhealed part of yourself. Once there is a karmic attached to your connection, that person is not just teaching your person something. They are also teaching you something. There's a lesson or some kind of awareness around an issue that they're trying to bring to your attention. Okay? So in that sense, not just a person karmic, it's your karmic, as triggering as that may be. Remember, they're just member of your soul family, playing a particular character in this lifetime. All they have on is a different costume. Okay? They've been different things to you in different lifetimes, and in this lifetime, they are this karmic energy. Okay? So we have that particular resource because they are a resource. They're helping us in our ascension. So we need to learn from it, right? Cool. So let us get into this reading. So the first thing we're going to do, let us get significators for the people in this connection at this time. So we're going to tap into the Emperor and the Karmic on this episode of the Emperor and the Karmic. Oh my God. Let's see what's happening, guys. We have confidence. Confidence feels a little bit like ego because it's a 5. Okay, let's see what it feels like. Ego. It feels like image. We have here rising above problems. Somebody wants to rise above problems. The feminine energy here, whilst the masculine energy is weighing their options. The masculine energy is in this place of heartbreak. The masculine energy is trying to figure out what's real and what is illusion. And the masculine energy is rebelling against the status quo. The word I want to say, I'm not getting the word. It's like a disconnect, isn't it? We have two people in the same situation having entirely different experiences. So somebody's in a state of denial somewhere. Okay, because these are two people that aren't on the same page. And they have a different perception of what is happening here. Strange. All right, let's see. Your person's energy in this situation. Your person's energy right now. Let's see your person's energy right now. We'll find out what it's all about. Your person, we have living your purpose. So they're about to open a door to their purpose, and they're leaving a lot of people behind. This is them following their heart. We have 6-6, and this is all about the lovers. They're going through a door that not a lot of people can follow them or come with them through. In fact, there's a child that's here. So maybe your person has children, but remember, this is your person's inner child. This is your person's inner child. You see, and I kept hearing the phrase, and a child will lead them. I think your person has been doing some major healing, especially with their wounded inner child, right? So they're kind of coming home to themselves. That's why I get in this, coming home to themselves. And it is this healing that is leading them straight into their purpose. And maybe their purpose has to do with them working with children, or working with persons who have a wounded inner child, so maybe a therapist, a counselor, or something like that. But they're not, it don't feels like they're grounded in this connection. It feels like they're searching for higher purpose, you know. All right, the karmic in the situation. What's the energy? We have the independent codependent dynamic. Okay. This is someone who feels all tied up and bogged down. It is someone who longs for independence, but they don't like the accountability that comes with independence. And they enjoy being dependent on someone else, but don't like the sense of powerlessness that comes with that. So it's someone who wants to have their cake and eat it too. So they want to be independent, they want to be free, but they don't want the responsibility of freedom. The responsibility part, they want your person to handle that. Okay, and the other parts of it, they're like that. So they're in this relationship, but they're not in this relationship. So they might even be doing their own thing, and your person is handling the responsibility of this relationship. So it's a push and pull energy. I want to be here because I have to be. I am here because I have to be here. Because you are the person that is kind of holding all the responsibility down. And there's a resentment that comes with that kind of dynamic. So I feel secure that I'm dependent on you because you can't just disconnect from me. But at the same time, I don't enjoy the trap or being treated like a child that comes with being dependent on someone else. Let's pull some cards on these. So they want to have their cake and eat it too. I want to pretend to be a child in this situation so that you can take care of me, but I resent that you treat me like a child. And for some of you, that might mirror your dynamic with your counterpart. Like they may enjoy you mothering them, nurturing them, okay, treating them like a child when it suits them, but then they're like, you're not my mother, you're not the boss of me. There's the resentment that also comes with that. So they want to be treated like a child but respected like an adult. Like how Sway? We have judgment. Yeah, everybody's eyes are kind of wide awake here, right? Everybody's seeing the pitfalls of this connection and the dynamic that they've created. So you bind yourself so close together that when you're ready to untangle yourself and enjoy your independence, you can't. So people are waking up in this connection. So whatever they enjoyed about this dynamic before is what they resent about this dynamic. Let's see this live in your purpose card for your person. Because that's what they're concerned about. We have the the 4 of Cups, the board. It's a card of boredom. And the 5 of Swords in reverse. They long for something more. Okay, I think they thought they would have been happy with the life they had crafted out. Okay, they're there for the likes, the image, what their friends will say, being admired. But then you get to a point in your maturity where you want to live. I said leave, but really, I heard live a legacy. Right. So this person wants to live a purposeful life, but also leave a legacy. How are people, they're concerned now, how are people going to remember me when I'm gone? What have I done for the planet? What have I done for the world? And these are the kind of questions that your person, this is what they're looking at right now. They're fed up of the mind games, and they're fed up of, all these kind of subterfuges, kind of playing a chess game with everybody. They're fed up of that. They want to live a life that's full of serenity, that's full of purpose. And that's a door that they want to open right now. Let's see this independent, dependent dynamic. We have the Seven of Cups. Okay. They're assessing their options. Okay, they're assessing their options. They want to take action to come out of this dynamic that they have, because they realize that overall it doesn't serve them. They're bound. They're codependent. They cannot exist as it is. They can't exist on their own. And just as I said, they're bound. And remembering, I go a little into a tangent, but it's not really a tangent. I'm remembering a story, and if I see it, I'm going to link it down below. It was a story on Facebook. They did a little kind of mini documentary, a man and a woman, and I think there's a baby. Was there a baby on the way? No, there was no baby on the way. Man and a woman. And she was, she most vocal, how she hates feminists. I think she had a skewed view of what feminism was. Because feminism is about, people having the right to choose whatever dynamic they want, right? And she's about screw feminists, and she's talking about traditional gender roles and that kind of thing. And she basically, the setup that they had is that, so everything that's about responsibility, because she said bills are bullshit. Everything that was about responsibility and that kind of thing, he would handle. And she was there taking care of the home. Ain't nothing wrong with that, right? So all the credit cards are in his name, right? So on the surface level, everybody's like, well, why not? They have the responsibility of paying for that. But that also means that financially she doesn't exist. She has no credit. All the bank accounts are in his name, okay? She gets an allowance, okay? She can't touch that money, right? She has to enumerate what she needs, and he gives her enough money to cover that. She has stopped her education to stay in the home. And I'm like, well, if you have all that time on your hands, why don't you? But anyway, people are free to make their choices, right? So if at any point in time he gets ill or is unable to work, where is he? So while she may think that all of this is working out in her favor right now, 10 years down the road, if something happens, God forbid, something happens, maybe they could grow out of love out of each other. Maybe they're fed up with the dynamic. I don't know. People change, right? Where is she? Where is she in all of this? And that's where the resentment comes in, because you feel like you've sacrificed yourself, but this is something that you've allowed. And I think this is the same thing that's playing out in the situation. I think this karmic was happy for your person to shoulder all the responsibility, all the bills, the obligation, whilst they lived out some kind of childlike fantasy. But in the end, you remain stymied in your growth. You remain a child, right? And just like the one, you may not even financially exist. And I feel that's what's happened here. Like, if something happens, if I fall, if I don't want to be here anymore, what are my options? So I think this is the karmic realizing that as much as they try to keep your person bound, they have also bound themselves. Okay, and we have King of Swords in reverse, the overt narcissist. So you've bound yourself in a very toxic dynamic. So when everything was going great, that's beautiful for them. But now that you're growing old and maturing, you want different things, now realizing that you've truly you're not just bound the person, you've bound your own self. So this is what's happening in this situation. Let's get some cards from the emotional intelligence deck to give us a little more perspective and nuance as to what's happening in this situation as well. And maybe that's happening with you and your person too. As I tell you, this situation always kind of mirrors back to you an aspect of self. Maybe you have tied your hopes and your dreams so very closely to this person that you made yourself stuck. You just can't see another way. Or maybe you might be examining your options at this time. you know all right, so underneath the deck is isolated, and so I think both persons feeling abandoned by their partner right now, and it's because they're not on the same page. They're not on the same page, and they don't want the same things. Your person in this connection feeling burdened. Yeah, they're shouldering the responsibility, right? They're shouldering responsibility that allows this karmic to, be a child. We have a reckless, and we have self-sabotaging. And let's see the karmic, their emotions in this connection. We have enthusiastic. We'll see what they're enthusiastic about. We have cheerful. Na, 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 na. And then we also have guilty. Why? And underneath the deck we have hopeless. All right, let's have a look and see what's happening here. All right, so your person feeling burdened. Why are they burdened, Spirit? We have, this is an Ace of Pentacles cards. Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And we have the Strength card. Your person is trying to be strong for this whole connection, and they've had to be strong for this connection, because they are the one that's carrying all the labor in every sense of the word that you want to talk about labor. They have been carrying the labor. For some of them, maybe this karmic doesn't have a job or something like that, so they've been toting this connection on their back. But right now they want to take back their power, because they've been giving their power away to obligations. They have been giving their power away to karmic ideologies, right? Maybe they buy into this whole provider homemaker dynamic, and maybe that's not what they want. It's okay if that's what you want, but it looks like your person, this is not what they want. They want some kind of higher level, a higher level of commitment. Okay, and by higher level, they don't mean more bound to each other, but they mean something that's existing on a higher perspective, maybe a more spiritual perspective. So they're here in this energy of a reckless. What's that about? It is about Seven of Pentacles. Going and investing elsewhere, making plans, being strategic, right? This person's ready to make a move, okay, but they don't want to be too impulsive. They want to that when they make a move, that they're going to something grounded. I think they're kind of disappointed in how unstable this connection has become with this Ace of Pentacles in reverse. And it could be unstable financially, it could be unstable emotionally, but they don't feel safe in this connection, and safety is very important to your person. They see now that their choice of this karmic, because Queen of Pentacles in reverse is the gold digger, their choice of this karmic was self-sabotage. It was them sabotaging themselves. They manifested this out of their ego, out of their wounding, out of their own insecurities. And now that they're not that person anymore because they've done this healing, what do they do with this whole dynamic? Right? Karmic, on the other hand, is enthusiastic about. We have King of Pentacles about your person, because your person is really dependable in this connection. They show up, they provide, okay? They might keep to themselves a little bit. We have the Hermit here, but in the end, they show up, they provide. What are they cheerful about? We have the Queen of Pentacles. They might be doing some sort of renovations at this time. They might be starting something new. They might be interested in marriage, trying to cement this connection, this relationship. So they're very enthusiastic about that. I think they're making additional demands on your person for them to commit a little more deeply to the connection. So they're enthusiastic about that. What are they feeling guilty about? They're feeling guilty because this is not really what they want. They want something brand new too. For some of them, they might be feeling guilty. We have the Magician here, that they might have been trying to bind your person with spell work. There is that. But for some of you, this karmic does not love your person. They're here because your person is easy to manipulate. Your person at heart is very loyal. And the Emperor that we are picking up on today, they're very serious about their responsibilities. So they know that they can depend on your person. So even though they don't love your person, they love the stability that your person provides. They feel safe with your person. Okay, so even though they don't love your person, and they know that your person deserves to be loved because they're amazing, they just want them for themselves because they feel stable. They feel stable here. How is your person processing the karmic in their headspace? Your person's headspace for the karmic. We have the Ten of Wands, so that burdened energy comes out again, overwhelmed by everything that is happening. We have the Six of Cups, so it could be soulmate energy, it could be children in this mix, or maybe they've known each other for a long time, maybe since childhood. We have the Three of Swords, heartbreak here. Okay, I get the message. And then we have Knight of Swords. Your person feels burdened because they thought that this person was their soulmate. Might be triggering for you to hear, just telling you this is a message. They're burdened because they thought that this person was their soulmate. When they met this person aligned with everything. They just ticked your person's boxes. They're everything your person's ego wanted, because your person was deep in ego at the time. They're everything that your person wanted. They clicked and checked every box. But now that your person has evolved, and now that they're moving into a more authentic version of themselves, this is Knight of Swords. A Knight of Swords is about the truth, no matter what. The whole truth and nothing but the truth. They're feeling heartbroken at their choice. They thought this person was their soulmate. They weren't seeing things clearly. Their ego was in charge. And now that that ego has been broken down, you've seen your life, you've seen what you chose, you've seen what you manifested, and you're just disappointed. Disappointed in everybody, disappointed more in yourself. So I feel like your person kind of beating themselves up. What does your person want you to know most about this connection at this time? In the extended, I'm going to get a channeled message from the karmic. I'm going to look at what the karmic is thinking about you at this time, what the karmic is thinking about your person, what is keeping these people together, what the karmic has to say to you, and then I'm going to look at what can we expect will be the outcome of this connection within a month's time. Okay, so let's have a look. What does your person want you to know most about this connection? We have the Eight of Cups in reverse. We have the Seven of Wands. We have the King of Cups. And we have the Ace of Cups in reverse. What am I feeling here? They want you to know that for a long time they were intoxicated by and addicted to the drama in this connection for a very long time. Okay, it really fed your person's ego, right? All the fights, the possessiveness, the jealousy, everything just out in all these fires. I think your person was just operating on adrenaline and loving the adrenaline rush. Okay, and that's what we do when we are in codependent and toxic relationships, right? It's a trauma bond, and we keep manifesting trauma to bond over, right? So that's what your person was doing for a very long time. But now that they truly are embodying love and they know what love is, this is not something that they want. And in fact, they are actively putting up boundaries, because we have the Seven of Wands here, against this karmic energy. They want you to know at this time as well, they are also putting up boundaries against you. And that is because they need time alone to process everything that they are feeling. We have here the King of Cups. They're not ready to express their truth. The King of Cups loves a lot. They love deeply, but they hold that truth inside until they're ready. And this is what your person wants to know. Let me pull a card on that King of Cups. Yeah, we have the Ten of Cups here. They want you to know that you are their everything that they've ever wished for and more. And this is the choice that they have to make now. Do they continue to manifest trauma, manufacture trauma? Here, it's a choice. It's a clear choice. And keep themselves stuck? Or do they fight for something more? So that's why if you're not in touch with your person, or you're in limited communication with your person, they are taking time out to make this choice. And whilst it may be simple or feel simple for you, remember, they have created a life with this person. And detangling takes a while. Okay, so I'll tell you that. So if you can't join me in the extended, let me get some advice from Spirit. Spirit, what do you need to know? Spirit, what do we need to know as to the way forward regarding viewers' connection with this person? What is the way forward here? What is the way forward? We have Goddess of Creation. It says transformation, creativity, and wholeness. That's all about the Empress. And we have Sacred Journey, Life Cycles, Family, and Transformation. It's a card number 22. And we spoke about that just the other day. Mastering or intimate relationships. Let's see what Spirit has to say here. Life is a physical journey through time and space. Yes, it is, yet it is also a spiritual journey that transcends both time and space. Physically, we are born of the earth, and to the earth we shall return. Yet spiritually, we are never born and we never die. We never come and we never leave. This card reminds you that we are each so much more than our physical reality. So we are more than this whole third-party energy that is going on here. In fact, from our soul's perspective, this current life is just one page in a never-ending book, which is the eternal story of life. We are all characters in a play, and I told you that. And we have each chosen different roles. Your family is a central part of this journey. Each member plays their respective roles. Each member your co-star and partner. Each play is designed for maximum dramatic effect. Otherwise, it would get very boring. Okay, more facts. In effect, we are all actors, and we are each required to play our roles well. It is through our human drama we expand our understanding of love. So sometimes we ask ourselves, why are we all kind of embroiled in all of this or attached to all of this, right? Because it just sounds like drama, but it's all for our soul expansion and understanding, right? So it is through human drama that we expand our understanding of love, because through our family we have a particular definition or understanding of love, but it's when we go on a truly deep and spiritual quest that we find out what love really is. And love is not jealousy and possessiveness and fighting and the possession of another, it's allowing that person to live their best life and feel safe. It says the different roles we play and the people we encounter help us grow. Through drama, we come to understand just how sacred life is. Thank your soul for the journey. And the affirmation here is, the role I play in this life is transient. And that reminds me as well, that they are teaching you lessons, but you are also teaching them lessons, because they're looking at you too, right? I am in essence a being of light. My family members are some of my greatest teachers. All human drama helps me expand my awareness of love. My soul is not confined by time and space. And your soul might not be confined to this person either. We have to be careful that we don't bind ourselves and also keep ourselves stuck. Anyway, guys, this was your reading today. I hope it was helpful. If you can join me in extended, I'm going to do that semi-trans message from the Karmic, as well as the other questions that we're going to explore. Okay? I'm love. Take care. Thank you for your likes, your shares, subscribes. Appreciate you all.